8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Hello world, it's Siraj and welcome to this first live stream of Code Royale, the game that we've been working on for many months for this community. And I'm super excited to show you this first version of Code Royale. And what we're going to do in this video, this live stream, is I'm going to play Code Royale with one of the top winners from these past live streams, Related Title, who just keeps on winning because he's amazing like that. And we're going to go through all 9 of the mini games in Code Royale together. We're also going to intersperse those mini games with live questions for you so that you can answer some machine learning related questions. And the whole point of this is for you to get an idea of what is this game that Siraj has been working on for months. What is he trying to do? And Raphael, Dick Reuter, the developer who's been building this as well, together, my partner. And I'm super nervous and excited to show you this game. It's not going to be the final version. It's the first version, but, whatever. We got to start somewhere. So this is the game. It's called Code Royale, and you can see that there's so many different mini games, and each mini game is related to a different machine learning concept. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with 3 of the first mini games, and then we're going to continually move on from there. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to show you this first mini game. You can see there's already 2 players in this mini game, and that would be Related Title and Ishan Dubey, another one of the winners. He's probably in there as well. So let's go ahead and play Avoid the Mode. This is the first machine learning mini game out there. And before we even start that, I want to say that this game is meant for K through 12. So it's for grade school children, anywhere from 5 years old up to 18 years old. I know that not everybody in this community is that age. I know we have a lot of college students in this community. We have a lot of older people in this community. I'm 29, I'm turning 30 in a few months. But we really want to focus on the youth because this country, the United States, as well as the entire world, be it India, Brazil, China, Pakistan, Japan, we really don't have a good education system set up for mathematics and for programming at an early age. And, some countries do it better than others, but overall, most people don't even want to start learning the sciences or technology or engineering or mathematics because they perceive it as too hard. Just the perception alone stops them from pursuing a career or research or something in this direction. And so we want to change that with this game. We want to show people that it's easy and fun to learn concepts like linear algebra, calculus, probability theory, statistics. And so let's go ahead and click on Avoid the Mode. This is the first game that I would like to play, Avoid the Mode, with you guys. And what this game is it's an example of using, of learning linear algebra. So this is, or not linear algebra, statistics. This is a statistics game. And I want to now ask somebody to join this game. Let's make sure that there's no bugs happening with the game. Is everybody in the game? Let's make sure that they're here. And once they show up, the game is going to start. Basically, the point of this game is to hold on. You never know what can happen. So I'm just going to open 2 of these windows. Make sure that there's somebody in the game so that it starts. And if it doesn't start, then I'm going to have to do this myself. So let's just open 2 of these windows. And then there we go. Somebody joined. All right, we have Related and Ishan and somebody else who just joined the game. I don't even know who this other person is, but they joined. And so here we go. We're going to get started with this first version. This is a statistics game, and the point of this game is to learn basic concepts in statistics like the mean, the median, and the mode. And so the game is going to start. We still have to add some music to the game, so it's not going to be very musical yet. But the basic idea is that we start off with 9 different squares, and each of these squares has a different number. And our task as these little robot characters is to find the mean, the median, and the mode. So let me just see. Let's see what happens here. I think we have a bug. All right, let me just restart this. Hold on. I think what had to happen was we just had a little bit of a bug, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up two versions of the game, and then I have this version. So we log in. I join one of these, and then I'll do the same because I'll have two of them, and then I'll join again, and then I'll join myself. And now I'm going to play with myself in this game. So I want to show you guys what this first version looks like. Hopefully nothing goes wrong with this bug, and it's going to start the game. I took a note of what just happened. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, good. So, right, so our task is to avoid the mean, the median, or the mode. We're going to have to compute that mentally with our mind, and then we're going to have to take our character and move it in a certain direction such that it is avoiding a certain number. So 3, 2, 1. And so you see there's this other player here. It's just myself. But so it says avoid the median. Okay, so if we avoid the median, what does that look like? So if we avoid the median, why is it? So the screen is also, so this one, so we avoided the median. So it's going to show us 5 numbers, and 2 is one of the numbers that is not visible. So we want to compute that mentally and then move our character around. So that's avoiding the median. And basically the point of this game is to practice our mental statistics skills. We want to make sure that we know what we're doing. And I'm curious why the camera won't move in the stream, but it will move for me. Basically the camera is locked right now in this position, and I think it's because of the way I set up the game. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a window capture so that we can see everything. I want to make sure that you guys can see literally everything that's happening here. Okay, so we have that. We have the camera. Okay, and this is eliminated. Okay, just like that. And let's do that, this transition. Okay, so now you can see a little bit of everything. So now I want to show you a different game. And the different game is collect the dots. So this is a linear algebra game. And so if we click on collect the dots, you can see that it is a linear algebra game that allows us to practice our linear algebra skills. So if I open 2 of these, I'm going to play with myself. The game's going to start. You can see the timer. So the point of this game, this linear algebra game, collect the dots, is to compute the dot product mentally of 2 matrices. And then there's going to be 4 answers, which are basically the values in the resultant matrix when we multiply 2 matrices together. These are groups of numbers. And this is apparent all throughout machine learning, right? Neural networks use matrix dot product operations. All sorts of algorithms use the dot product as a fundamental concept in mathematics to compute a prediction. And so our job here is to make sure that we can compute the dot product. So I'm moving around, and so you see this like dummy character, which is just me right now. We're going to get related to join in the next minigame, I think. But for this one, so I'm moving around. And so that's the dot product. You see there's a timer here, 1 minute and 44 seconds I've got. I'm going to try to compute what this is. So it's 3 times 1 plus 5 times 3, which is 3 plus 15. So that's 18. So 18 is going to be the first number that I'm going to need. And so I'm going to look here, and here is 18, and we have people just all running for their own dots, and we're all pushing and shoving each other. If this was a real player. And so I'm taking it to my goal as fast as I can. I've got to get all 4, and players can steal from each other. They can get different dots, and you see that the game has counted that because it's correct. It's one of the correct values. But if we don't have the correct value, then it's not going to count that. So for example, if I get, say, 78, and I take 78 and I put it, in here, it's not going to work because, oh, it is actually. That was one of the values. But let's take one that's definitely not one of the right values. How about 58? 58 is not, I'm pretty sure that's not one of the right values. So once we put 58 in here, it's going to say, right, so see, it doesn't count 58 because 58 is not one of the correct values. You might be wondering, how are these generated? What is the point of that? Okay, so that's this game. This is Collect the Dots. I just want to give you a brief overview of what Collect the Dots looks like. We're going to definitely have like up to 60 people in this kind of thing. We want each of these games to have just up to 60 people. So there's a lot of people. So for the next one, so Related can join this one. So we're going to do Surf the Derivative. So I'll click on Surf the Derivative. And we're going to wait for an actual person to show up for this game. So this is a calculus game, Surf the Derivative. And basically, it allows us to compute the power rule, which is a concept in calculus that lets us find the derivative of some number or some sets or some, a function. We can find the derivative of a function too. So what's going to happen now is we're going to have a player who joins this game, then the game will start. Once the game starts, we'll be able to move forward. So we've got waiting for players, and then is anyone going to join? Maybe the joining isn't working, so I'll just, okay, so yes, Related joined. So now the timer's going to start and we can play Surf the Derivative. And so our job here is to compute the derivative of this, the derivatives, shall I say. We want to compute the derivatives. And let's just see how it all works. Make myself a little smaller. Okay, so one by one, we're going to be computing all of the derivatives. One by one. Okay, so this is an actual other player, Related title, who's been winning these. So hopefully this works. All right. So yeah, there he is. He is moving around. He's got his own thing going on. We want up to 60 people in this game. So let's actually play this. 6, 12, 18, 18. So the derivative of 3x to the 6th is 6, 12, 18, 18x to the 5th. So I will run through this. You can see him running as well. He's going to try to get to this. And yes, I got here first. Correct. So my speed is going to increase. So every one we get correct is going to increase. So I think Related is letting me win this right now. So the derivative of 5x to the 5th is 25x to the 4th using the power rule. So because it's the exponent times the coefficient, and then we subtract 1 from the exponent. And so you see I get faster and faster every single time I get this. And so then the next one is 2x to the 9th. What's the derivative? Oh, look at Related title just zooming past me. This is going to be 18x to the 7th. So there we go. It looks like he went through the wrong one. Oh, he got the right one and I got the wrong one. So he gets that speed boost, but I don't. So he is just moving and zooming through this. This is going to be 72x to the 8th. And I got that one. So now I'm at 13.5. And I am just zooming faster and faster. You could see the finish line coming up. This is going to be 48x to the 5th. And basically Related is a speed demon now. He is just zooming. Oh my God, he's going to get it. 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 Ah, eliminated. Related won. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to take a little bit of a break just so I can ask you guys a question related to machine learning and all this stuff because I want you to be involved. So the way this is going to work is 3 mini games, question, 3 mini games, question, 3 mini games, question. We'll announce a winner. And then I'm going to give out $150 worth of prizes to 3 people. Okay. So this week we want to try to use the Code Royale web app for live streaming. Eventually we want the games themselves in the web app, these 3D games, but not yet. That's going to take a while. So let's try to use the web app. I understand that it's going to be buggy for some people. So if you go to playcoderoyale.com and you click and you just log in, you go to the live dashboard, it should work. It should say, what is the derivative of all of this stuff? And it looks like we already have 3 people who are answering this question. The question is, what is the derivative of 3x squared? Okay, and if you can't, for some reason, access the web app, I know that there's some bugs. Use itempool.com /LLsource, the original link, and I'll go live on there too. I'll begin accepting answers on there too. So, but I really want this web app to work, and it looks like it's working. Like, our web app is working, guys. We have 5 people who've answered the question, what is the derivative of 3x squared? Is it 3? Is it x? Is it 5x? Or is it 6x? And now we have 6 people who've answered them so far, and it looks like most people have this idea of what the answer is. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it is working. Everything is working. Good. And it looks like we don't have any questions so far. I understand this is just a demo, so it's not very like, here's a curriculum of what we're learning today. Here's X, Y, and Z. It's more of like a free form demo for you guys to see what we've been building here. And so, okay, so 9 people have answered so far, and I'm going to give it 30 more seconds for you guys to be able to log in and answer and, figure out any bugs. We have a lot of people who are answering on item pool as well. 13 people versus 1. So I understand the web app is going to be like pretty buggy, but I'll just let people continue to answer these. What's the web app info? The info for the web app is that it's called playcoderoyale.com, and then you sign up, for an account there, and then you'll be able to answer questions for these live streams. And then the plan is to eventually add in these mini games into the web app so you can play those mini games inside of a web browser instead of having to download something for, say, Mac or Windows or Android or iOS. And then it looks like so now I'm going to reveal the answers, and it looks like, we had people answering on both platforms, so that's good. So I'm going to finish and reveal. Okay, so the answer was 5x on both platforms. Finish and reveal. It was 5x. Good job. So we got everybody. Oh, most people. Wait a second. We only got 1 person who got it. No way. 1 guy or girl got it right. Interesting. Most people thought it was 6x. I see. This is why we all need to play Surf the Derivative. It's not just for kids. It's for everybody. We all need to get better at our math skills, right? Including myself included. So let's now continue on with the game. So good job, everybody. We'll continue on with the questions in a second, but we have more mini games to play. So let me open up Code Royale again. And now we're going to... Okay, so we've opened up Code Royale. And the next thing we want to do is we want to play... Let's play Escape the Maze. Now we're going to get into some serious coding stuff, all right? So in Escape the Maze, we're going to have Related join that. Okay, looks like he's already on it. Good job, Related. It's going to start in a second. So the way this game works is that we want to learn how loops and conditionals work. We want to understand why they're important in programming, right? Normally, we could just write code line by line by line, to get from point A to point B. Just like move forward, move backward, turn left, turn right. And we could just keep doing that block by block by block, block by block for every cell in a grid. But an easier way, a more efficient way to do that is to use the concept of a loop and of a conditional. Like if you hit a wall, then do this. If you are, whatever you're doing, just do it in an iterative fashion. And so the way this game works is that we are competing to see who can get to this goal the fastest using programming blocks. And so I'm going to say, all right, we're going to move forward. So we're going to move forward and I'll hit run. And you can see my character moves forward. I'll reset my character and I'll say, move forward and then move left and then repeat until wall. So that's a loop, move forward. So let's see what happens then when I hit run. It's going to do that, go forward, turn left, and it's going to just keep on moving forward until it hits a wall. And so that's the idea. So let's actually try to get to the center. And by the way, it crashed for related, so clearly we've got some bugs to work on, but it's going to get better. I am dedicated. All of my being is dedicated to making this the greatest machine learning game of all time. We will inspire a generation to develop an interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and we will show people how to learn mathematics. I fundamentally disagree with how people define the word education. It is not proctored exams. It is not a boring classroom. It is not a textbook. It is a game. That is the way to learn math in the most irreverent, irrespective way possible, in the most fun, engaging way possible. So let's try to do this in a better way. So clearly that did not work. So we know the answer. Like if you guys are looking at this, we just have to move forward. That's it. And let's do this in the least amount of code. Like one way to do this would be just move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward, right? That's the basic brute force way to do this. But we're smarter than that. We're programmers. We're going to do this in the most efficient way possible. We're going to repeat until wall. We're going to use a loop. We're going to use a loop to just continue moving forward until we hit a wall. So we'll hit run, and it's just going to keep moving forward and forward and forward until we qualified. And so we won. And so that's just me playing alone, but we want multiple people playing the game at the same time. So let's continue here. Let's now do one of the more intense machine learning ones. Okay, so this is called classify the plant. So let's join classify the plant. And so this is a game that is based on classification algorithms. So there are a lot of different algorithms that we can use for classification, for image classification, for text classification, whatever your type of data, you want to classify it using one of these algorithms. And so we've got over 20 different algorithms built into this game. And the way this game works is that we will be moving around and say, look, it's related title, and he is running for the algorithm. And we are going to collect our algorithm, and we're going to collect our data set. And he already collected the plant. Looks like I can collect it too. And so that's our plant data. Think of that as a data set. And now we have to collect an algorithm. I see an algorithm. You see it in the distance? Way down there. Let's go all the way down to that algorithm. We've got 38 seconds to get there before related gets there. It's what kind of algorithm is it? It's a convolutional neural network. And so normally once we have our algorithm and we have our data, we can start building our model. So boom, I got it, right? So now a bunch of code is going to show up. And what this code is it's open source code on GitHub for, learning the basics of machine learning that we've integrated into a compiler within the game. And so once we've collected our algorithm and we've collected our data set for this convolutional network, we're going to try to classify the plant that we just collected. And so this is already a pre-written algorithm. It's all already there, but our job is to click to fill in the missing line. So I'll go ahead and click to fill in the missing line, and 3 possible answers will show up. Now, Related might just finish this before I do because it's a timed exercise, but let's try to see, what could this line be? And this will help us memorize the implementation of a convolutional network. Related already got it. We got it before I got it. So good job, Related. He already won. But you guys see the basic idea there was to understand that algorithm. So the next one we're going to play is detect the spy. Now, this is a collection of clustering algorithms that we will use to find, build a fraud detector algorithm. And so in this case, the fraud is a spy. So there's going to be, up to 60 people in this game, and one of them is a spy. It's like a whodunit kind of scenario. And we're going to see if we can detect the spy. The unique part of this game is how the player drops in. It's kind of Fortnite style. They have their own little parachute, and we're all just flying around, and we land somewhere. And so there's related right there. We just landed in the same spot. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. Let's see who can collect the right clustering algorithm first. All right, let's see. When collecting clustering algorithm and social data so that we can detect the spy. There it is. You guys see that? DB scan. Ooh, generative adversarial networks, my favorite. And now we need to collect some social data. It's going to look like this. It's a detector. And once we have that, we're going to have to build our generative adversarial network. So this is a GAN class in Python. And in the first line, we are going to set the image rows to 28. That looks like a good answer. And then what's the second line? Valid. Looks like this is going to be valid. Just based on the comment there, it's going to be valid. And then the last line is going to be, we're going to initialize again, and then we're going to train it. So we'll hit compile. Please work. Succeed. We detected the spy. All right, so I won that one, and I qualified. And so what does this qualified thing mean? These games are meant to be played tournament style. So you can see here in my profile, I've got a badge, I've got an avatar, and then for each of the games, I get a score and a level. And then overall, I'm going to get an overall score as well, for whatever the season is. I can also change my character. Right now it's just a bunch of colors, very simple, but eventually we want all sorts of customizations, and we want, all sorts of things like that. But let's now answer the second question for you guys for this game. So I will now open up the second question for us. I will begin accepting answers on both of our web apps. Okay. So the second question is, which programming concepts enable us to write less code? Is it A, manual memory management? Is it B, deadlocks and thread safety? Is it C, loops and conditionals? Or is it D, breakpoints and assembly? One of these is the correct answer, and one of these is related to exactly what I was just talking about. And it looks like we have pretty much everybody on both platforms answering the same questions, or the same answer. It looks like people know what the answer is for this. Let me answer anything if there's anything. Was it 6x, guys? Was I wrong? Was the answer 6x? Okay, so it was probably 6x. I have a lot of things I'm thinking about, like making sure this game works, making sure there's no bugs, making sure people can join, making sure you guys are answering questions. So there's a lot. So thank you for letting me know. You guys were right. It was 6x. I had a brain flub. It happens to all of us. So let me see if there are any questions I can answer. It looks like you guys are pretty much on this, which is good. So it's, pretty evenly distributed, the answers between both web apps. I'm so glad our web app is finally working. So, shout out to Raphael, related title, and Ishan Dubé. That's just awesome. We have so much to do. I mean, the year has only begun, but, we do plan on raising a seed round within the next 2 weeks. Like, I have no time to lose here. Like, we are going to hire a full-time team of 8 people, of a mixture of developers and marketers and instructors, to make this the greatest machine learning game of all time. And so, great. It looks like we have a very distributed set of answers. I'll give it 30 more seconds before we continue with the rest of the mini games. But that was the basic idea here. And I'm so excited for all the things that we want to do. Let me also talk a little bit about the plans for Code Royale. Like, we want to raise a seed round. We're going to hire people. And then we're going to continually just build out mini games. So right now there are only 9 mini games that I designed first, and then Raphael helped implement. But I have already hit like 12 more mini games that I would like to be created for you guys, and we're just going to keep churning out mini games. And my vision is that within a few months we're going to have hundreds of different mini games inside of Code Royale that we can all be playing and learning from, and each of them is related to some different subtopic in machine learning, mathematics, programming. And then we want to, after that, we want to create a tool for you guys, for the players, to be able to create your own mini games, because that's the direction where gaming is headed. Whether it's Fortnite or Minecraft or Facebook Horizon, the future of gaming is one where the players are creating their own games, and they are custom games, and they can invite their friends and play them. So we want to give you guys the tools to create your own educational games as well. And then in terms of monetization, we're going to hopefully get schools to buy this. That's, part of it's going to be schools. We'll later, it's going to be a freemium model. So it's always going to be a free to play game. I'm very adamant about that. But I have had a nonprofit before, and I have had a for-profit, and I understand that having a nonprofit is just not sustainable unless you're getting a huge cash infusion constantly. And so what we want is a revenue stream so that you guys win as players and we as a business win. We're going to have to figure that part out, but it's not going to be me alone. We as a team are going to decide how to monetize it. Maybe we might add in, a freemium model where there's a subscription just for, certain services, but the game will always be free. And so maybe some small subset of people have a subscription. We sell it to schools as well, or maybe it's always free and we just completely can live off the revenue from schools. The Biden administration just signed into law a $175 billion check for virtual learning in public schools. So that's a huge, signal for money that would be available for companies and startups like us to educate the world on these technologies. Remote learning is terrible. Students are not engaged whatsoever with these live instructions. They need interactivity. And so I have no doubt that teachers are going to want some tool like this to keep their students engaged in class. So it's going to be a very PG game. We can't really be cursing, and there's not really violence and blood and gore, but it will be the most fun way to learn math and programming. I promise you that. Let's now see what the answers are. Finish and reveal. Loops and conditionals. Looks like most people, pretty much every single person knew that it was loops and conditionals, because that was the point of Escape the Maze. I'm glad you guys got that. Good work, guys. And so now we will go back to the game and we'll play the rest of the mini games. I want to show you the rest of them. All right. Back to the rest of the mini games. Okay. So we looked at clustering algorithms. We looked at classification. And now let's look at regression. We want to see what regression algorithms look like. So we'll go to predict the price. And inside of predict the price, we're going to have related join, predict the price join. Okay, he's already joining. And so it's going to start off the countdown. The way this game works, predict the price, is that, make myself smaller. There's the instructions right there. We're going to collect a regression algorithm and a price data set, and we're going to try to predict the price. Very similar in the style of before, where we are collecting the right algorithm, and then we're going to build that algorithm. So we're going to collect some time series data in this office. Related is in here somewhere. And let's see, where's that algorithm? Nothing is over here. We're going to find an algorithm. And we're going to add some music here too. I don't see any algorithms here. Da-da-da. Oh, there's one. There's an algorithm. Alrighty. Lasso regression. So that's the algorithm, lasso regression. Now we need to collect time series data. It's going to look like a laptop. So once we find, there it is. There's a laptop. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Time's running out. Okay, we got the time series data. Now we're going to build a lasso regressor. So we're going to click on filling this missing line. Related is really good, so he will probably just win this. Lasso regression, we have defined our weights and biases, and now we're going to create a loop here, because you can notice the indentation gives that away for I in range. Okay. And then we set our parameters as B is going to be B, weight is going to be weight. We've got one more here. Related one. He beat me. Good job, Related. All right, so that's the basic idea behind the regression. And we have 20 different regression algorithms built in. I also understand that wasn't the prettiest code ever. We want to make that very Blockly-like, very drag and droppy, but that's the basic idea for that as well. So now let's do a reinforcement learning game called Train the Agent. And so in Train the Agent, the idea is that we are going to train a robot we're going to create training data. So if self-driving cars, they are basically human drivers are taking these self-driving cars and they're just driving around the streets of San Francisco collecting training data. This is called behavioral cloning. And so, the way to create a training data set for reinforcement learning is to move in a world. And it doesn't necessarily have to be movement, but it has to be time-based, real-time actions. And so I am the red character here, and I'm moving with my WASD sticks. You can see Related is also moving. And so what we're doing here is we're collecting behavioral training data. And we have 3 episodes that we need to collect. And Related is already ahead of me. He's already on episode 3. And so he's already started with the code portion. So he's already ahead of me. But now I am on episode 3. I've now successfully collected enough training data. And it's time to... So what it does is it randomly picks a reinforcement learning algorithm for us to build. And once it builds that, it's going to then run that. So Related, if you could let me win this one, if possible, just so I could show them what winning looks like in terms of the last animation. Replay memory, and then stats.episode. I think this is a for loop. I think it's a for loop. Success. Okay. So now, once we've built that algorithm, we can observe the robot. So now it's going to autonomously try to find the center using the training data and the algorithm that we just finished building together. And you can see it's not perfect because I was kind of going all over the place. I wasn't going directly to the goal. And so it's going to just try to, looks like it might be stuck in let me show you guys how it's stuck right now. Please make it. Hopefully I collected enough valid training data. Good, qualified. But Related would have probably won. He would have won that. We wanted to show you guys what observation looks like. Let's play one more of the mini games. I don't think we played, which is the one we didn't play? Smash the probabilities. Right, smash the probabilities. And then we'll answer the last question and we'll see who the winners are. So if we can go to smash the probabilities, we will start that. We will start smash the probability. All right, cool. So it's going to start in a second, in 20 seconds. But the way that this game works is very similar to Surf the Derivative in that we are racing essentially up to 60 players. We want up to 60 players are racing to find what the we will see. We're going to try to compute the probability, just like we tried to compute the derivative first. Now we're going to try to compute the probability. And that's not going to be trivial. It could be joint probability. It could be conditional probability. There's a lot of different probabilities that we could use. So what's the probability of yellow? 3, 3, 3. So it's going to be 3 out of the total, which is 9. So that's 3/9, which is going to be simplified to 1/3. And we see that door right there, and Related gets it too. There he is. He's coming in. And we are neck and neck out here. Okay, what's the probability of red? 3, 5, and 2. 3 plus 5 plus 2 is 8, 10. And then red is 3 over 10. Related already got that before me. Okay, so he is just moving and moving and moving. Let's see who's going to win this one. 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9, and then it's 5 out of 9. And so he's got in the wrong ones. It's not 2/3, it's 5/9 Related. Haha. And I am now in the lead. 3 plus 5 plus 2 is 10. And then 3 out of 10 is the answer here. He probably lost that on purpose. Oh, yes. We got 3 out of 10. And then we have 2 more to go. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. 5 over 15 is 1/3 simplified, right? So this is just a normal probability computation. We can also add in joint probability, conditional probability, 7, 11. Okay, so we have 4 out of 11. And, all sorts of machine learning algorithms use probability. I mean, every single one, the probability of a prediction. Predictions are probabilities. We have 12, 4 out of 12. It's going to be 1/3. Oh, he is coming back. He is coming back. He is coming back. Look at that. Oh my God. No. What? There's a bug. I'm out of the map. Simulation broke. Divided by 0. No. Oh my God. And eliminated. Good job, Related. So Related is just basically amazing at all of these games already, which is exactly what I would want. And so now we're going to answer the third question in the series. So let's get back to the last question in the series. Okay, so next question. I will begin accepting answers on both platforms. Okay, so the question is, which of these algorithms can be used for classification? Is it A, proximal policy optimization, B, logistic regression, C, TSNE, or D, the dot product? And while you answer those, let me answer any questions that the audience has. I agree, Pascal. I do think gaming for education is underrated. 5 years ago when I first started on YouTube, January 1st, 2016, videos for developer education were underrated. Twilio, they didn't really think that developers would be watching videos. They thought that, static content documentation web pages were what developers watched. And I'm ready and here to tell you that the next phase, the next evolution of education is gaming. And I think that not enough people appreciate where we're headed in terms of how gaming will be used as a tool for education. And I want to show, it's like leading by example, that I want there to be games for all of the sciences and all of the mathematics, because we desperately need this as a society. Critical thinking skills, reasoning skills, the ability to ask counterfactual questions like, what if not? What if this was not the case? We as a society are sorely lacking in our intellectual capability. Just imagine if the entire world was educated with basic critical thinking and reasoning skills and mathematics skills. We would be just living in a much, much, much better society where people would not believe this or that just because it looks pretty, but they would be able to have this critique of anything that they are told. And that's what I would like. We need to upgrade ourselves as human beings first and foremost. Technology is really just a tool for us to get better, and some things are eternal, like love. Love, you cannot create a product that will give you the joy of love or whatever, for a parent or for a child or for a partner. And all that is to say that this is what math and science and technology are for. They are for helping us be more human as opposed to less human. Automate away all of the work that we don't want to do. Even coding itself can be boring. I'll admit that. Even coding itself can be boring. But everything, the more that we automate, the more time we'll have for each other, for our connections. These games are, there's something very special about playing with somebody else, learning with other people. That's very important. And so, am I forgetting item pool? I don't think so. It looks like everybody is pretty evenly split on this one, except not on the web app, on the Code Royale web app. Super Cub says that. Oh, we have some questions. So Akon asks, what will be the replayability of this game? So we will be continually creating content nonstop. So it's not just 9 mini games. There are going to be so many mini games. That's going to be coming from us as a company. But then also users will be creating mini games as well that we're going to pre-approve to make sure that they're really educational. And we're going to have contests for mini game creation and all of that as well. And we're going to pay people as well. That's another thing that differentiates Code Royale from every other game. Players will be making money. They will be making money by playing these games because we're going to have prize pools. Fortnite also lets players make millions of dollars with the prize pools. And Minecraft does not. But we really want to focus on the incentive to get people to learn in the form of prize pools. And hopefully we'll make that money back in the form of monetization with merchandise and with partnerships with schools and universities. Super Cub says that I think the target audience likely requires some coding experience. Just like any other learning game, you'll need the foundations it's building on before playing. That is a great point, and I absolutely agree with you. You know, the game is really it's not meant to replace the credentialing system that exists, that is in place. But what we can do is we can get the majority of people, at least in this country, and really my goal is the world. I am not focused on America. I understand that we are living in an international society and we have some international problems. Climate change, the threat of artificial intelligence, the threat of nuclear war. These are problems that require international cooperation. So my view of the world of society is very international. It is not egocentric to this country. I just happened to have been born in this country, but I think this idea of tying our identity to blood and soil is an old way of thinking. We are one internet village. We are all humans, no matter where you live, and so we will upskill the entire humanity one by one. Every man, woman, and child will develop a passion for science and technology and mathematics. That's my dream. I know it's not going to work for everybody, but hopefully it's more people than wouldn't, right? You know, and it's a long-term play as well. If we can get them at an impressionable age, at their earliest, if we can give them a love for coding and for science and technology, they'll always love it. So clearly I'm passionate about this. Okay, so let's see if there are any other questions here. And no other questions. So let's see what the answer was for this. Okay. Finish and reveal. Logistic regression. That's what I like to see. Okay. So it looks like pretty evenly divided here between both of them. Okay. So now we're going to, I really hope this works on the web app. Please don't lose people's data here. We're going to hit next. We're going to look at the winners together. I'm going to announce the winners together. So the point of the web app is that it's also recording the time to answer. So the fastest ones should percolate up to the top. So I'll hit next. I'll hit end. I want to end it. Okay. Royale live. Let's see the leaderboard here. Okay, we have a leaderboard now. Awesome. Let me make myself smaller here and now. Okay. So we have scores by times, and it looks like the number one person for the quiz in terms of they got all the answers and they did it in the shortest time. And, I really want to do this in a trustless way. So that's why, we now have a system for this. But Shobit Sundrial was the fastest one. Let's also see this other web app now. End session, view results, details. Okay. Now this one isn't going to be ranked in terms of time, but let's see if anybody got all of them correctly. Okay, so luckily for me in terms of deciding things, nobody who used item pool got all three questions correctly. Let me triple check that. Yeah, nobody got all three. So it's only going to be from the Code Royale web app. So we have Shobit Sundrial, we have Ronster 47, and we have Hello Anish Jain. And those are the three winners for this live stream. Because their emails are here, I can just send it to them. I can send them their crypto. They only got, okay, I just got a notice from Related Title that that person didn't win. Check the scores. They only got 1 out of 3 correct. Okay, so let's double check. Clearly there might just be a bug here. Check the scores, right? So I need to see the scores. Okay. I need to be able to see who got what. They only got 1 out of 3 correct, huh? Well, that's not good. That means there's a bug here. It says scores on the table. The scores are going to be on which table? The scores are going to be on, it says 33.3. That's right. Oh, I see. You're right. Okay. Let me move that to the side here so everybody can see. Right. So actually, only Ishan Dubé got all of them. So that's Ishan. So Ishan is one of the winners. And then I'm going to pick, starting from the top, who got the highest score, because that's what matters. So we have Ronster 45, Hello Anish Jain, and Ishan Dubé. Those are the 3 winners. Okay? So, and I'm going to send them the cryptocurrency. They don't have to email me or anything this time, because guess what? We have those emails. So yeah, congratulations to Ronster 47, to Hello Anish Jain, and to Ishan Dubé, who did win some previous competitions. So congrats to all 3 of you. I'm very proud of you. And now I want to end this live stream with just a message, just an update on what is going to happen next. So the next step is that we're going to release Code Royale to everybody who signed up on the wait list. So there are about 1,200 people or so who signed up for the wait list. We're going to send it out to all of them. We're going to let them play it. We're going to play test it. There's going to be a lot of bugs probably. We're going to collect all that feedback, implement it into the game, make it better. And then we're going to release it publicly within, I'm hoping, for 3 weeks. So by the middle of February. I am now full-time fundraising. That is my next task. I'm fundraising a seed round for Code Royale to be the best way to learn math and programming for K through 12. And I have no doubt that we're going to succeed. And this is something that I'm willing to dedicate my entire life to, because it's something I truly care about. And then, yeah, we're just going to keep adding on mini games. We're going to make this the best game ever. And we're just going to keep going and going and going and going. And then, eventually we'll see where it turns out, but how it turns out. But we definitely want to get the best players in the game opportunities, placements into scholarships, into, top learning programs, boot camps. We want to obviously get the money in the form of prize pools and, big prize pools. Hopefully a year from now, we're doing like $100,000 prize pools, and just massive arenas are filled with the players playing these games, and, post-COVID. So there's a lot, and I, just want you to be aware of all that. This is all that I care about, is the success of this game. And I hope that you join, because this is the future of learning machine learning and learning math and programming. And it's fun. So thank you for being here. And I hope you have a great day, great night, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next week for some other type of live stream related to math and programming. So until then, bye.